everybody? Martin here with the first match, playing Oath of Druids, showing Oath, Burning Oath, whatever you want to call it. Um, Well, we have the Oath and the Orchard to trigger it. We have no protection. We don't have a Mox to power it out on turn 1. We're on the draw anyways. And as a backup plan, we have Show and Tell into Omniscience into nothing, but I'm sure we'll find something. I think this is a keepable hand. I mean, we sort of just lose turn 1 to like hardcore combo like Storm or like anyone just vintaging us out with stuff, but I don't think you should really worry about that. City of Traders. Interesting opening land. Sol Ring. Top, okay. Wow, they're just emptying their hand. I guess this is like what shops play a 1-drop like that? Mortar Pod. Equip your... Sure, okay. So they can sacrifice this creature to not trigger Oath. That's really interesting. Mortar Pod. They get a living weapon. And what else? They're topping. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, 2 cards in hand. Let's see what we draw. Nothing too exciting. So I'll just play a land and pass, make it a fetch land to reveal as little as possible. Alright, let's see. Are they just gonna crush us on turn 2 with some backbreaking play? Turn 1 City of Traders is always a little bit of a gambit, I think, for obvious reasons. Genesis Chamber. I think this is the Tiny Robots deck. So now they get to put some colorless creatures into play. Sure. And I guess what then? Mortar Pot us out? How does that work? Mimnite. Okay. Well, we will get to, if we get our turn. I mean, if they can draw into Cranial Plating on their next turn, that's pretty bad for us. So let's not play the Orchard, I don't think. Right, can they sack all their dudes? So the thing is, if they can sacrifice, well, they can sacrifice this guy, because he's on the Mortar Pot. So let's say they sacrifice that guy. Then he can deal 1 damage to a creature. So let's say he shoots one of the mirrors. Then they need to put it on Thopter, sack that Thopter, shoot another mirror. I think actually I'm just gonna... No, let's not give them the extra creature. Let's just play the Oath and pass. And hope it's good enough, right? Because we're getting smacked some here next turn. I'm not sure, but I actually don't think Oathing into Gristlebrand, sorry, into Emrakul is going to be good enough. Uh-oh. Expedition map, so I guess we misstep that. Not quite sure what they're getting, but maybe like... Well, actually, maybe it doesn't even matter, right? Because, well, they get mana to look with top after they shuffle this way. Such a shuffle effect for them. But I'm not sure what land they get that lets them do crazy stuff with 0 cards in hand. So they are thinking. This is interesting. I haven't played against this deck before. So what could be really bad for us? Okay, so they're looking. So that means they only, assuming this misstep resolves, they will only have 3 mana to do something with on this turn. Which, well, I hope that's good enough for us. I think they could play Tangle Wire if they have that on. I think that this deck plays Tangle Wire. But, I mean, if they do that, that means we probably can't. If we hit Griselbrand, we can't really just show and tell, which is like what I hope to have happen here. I hope I hit Griselbrand, and then I hope that I can just Omniscience. Show and tell Omniscience, and then draw 7 with Griselbrand, and then win from there. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna take 3 here, so I'm down to 14. So here we go. The Oath triggers. Choose target opponent who controls more creatures than you. That is this guy. And yes, we want to use it. Excellent. So what did this say? Whenever non-token creature, if Genesis Chamber untapped, that creature's control, it puts a 1/1 color. Okay, so we get a 1/1 mirror. That's cool. And we only mill just a tiny bit of our deck, which is pretty great because we want to draw into what wins us the game here. So let's start by drawing 7. Well, no Burning Wish, but we got the Recall. So I think I'm just gonna show and tell here. Hope they don't have something spicy for us on the top of their library. And they don't, because they would have needed to draw with their top. So let's put in Omniscience. Let's draw 3 cards. And there's the Burning Wish. So, yes, we want to use this. Let's just see what Storm count is, only 4. So let's get the Enter the Infinite. Cast that. So put a card on top. So let's put back one of the Orchards. Let's play out these Moxens. I guess we don't need to cast them with the Omniscience because they cost 0. So let's just play out all these and Burning Wish for Tendrils. Storm is 11. Great. So I think, like, in terms of how the combo works out, this was about as ideal as can be. We were a little bit slow out of the gates, and if they had had some meaningful disruption, we couldn't really do anything about that, but yeah. So I guess we want the Ancient Grudges just because they have stuff. I think I kind of want Elish Norn. And I think I want her instead of Emrakul. Mind you, Emrakul is just a hard win. Most of the time if you have him in your hand and you resolve Omniscience through Show and Tell. But he's pretty mediocre to Oath into, I think. Like, Elish Norn is more impactful there against this deck. Okay, so what don't we want? I don't think we want the Jace against a sphere deck with lots of tiny ground hitters. I don't think we want the misdirection. I think mental misstep is actually fine here. Not sure we want the decay. Like one decay for one misstep, maybe? Yeah, that seems fine. So let's try this. Not really sure how awesome this is. This sideboard plan. Well, we have... We can go turn 2 on, like, turn 1 actually, Burning Wish to get Omniscience, and then Omniscience, sorry, to get Show and Tell, and then Show and Tell Omniscience into play on turn 2 if they don't do anything about, like, but then we don't have anything else going on. So I'm not really sure if that is going to be enough. I'm going to try this against my better judgment. Right, strip mine. So they float a mana and then cast a Memnite. That's interesting. Mana Crypt. Okay. Signal Pest. And then a Cage. Sure. Well, so the thing here is that Oath of Druids can still trigger even though there's a Cage in play. And then the trigger resolves, so we start milling cards. And then once we hit a creature, we try to put it into play from our library, but Cage says no. So what happens then is that the creature just stays on top of our library, and then we proceed to our draw step. So we actually get the Oath. Sorry, we get the creature into our hand, and if we have Show and Tell into Omniscience, yeah, you get my drift. The thing is, though, that we're going to get strip mined. But we have enough lands to make this work as long as they don't just completely wreck us. So I think we're going to Burning Wish first for the Show and Tell, even though that sort of signposts what we're trying to do. Alright, so they have to flip for their Mana Crypt, and they won the flip. Good for them. So Signal Pest is a bit annoying. Gets to +1 their entire team. Revoker. Interesting. If they revoke a Griselbrand, and we hit Griselbrand off the Oath, that's kind of annoying. What's this? Mox Ruby. Oh yeah, sure, that makes sense. So that means, oh, they're sort of firing on all cylinders. So they get to Expedition Map, and then next turn, I don't know, crack the map for a Wasteland maybe. All right, well, they don't have the fastest clock, but that can change swiftly. So I guess we just have to hope to draw into some mana post-haste. And they won the coin flip again. Okay, now this is an issue. This lets them go nuts. I think we need to hit like Lotus now. And that's not going to be enough. Alright. We didn't. Anyways, so we are out. So if they hadn't revoked our Mox Ruby, we could have oathed the turn previous, gotten beaten down to 6, then triggered oath, and hopefully hit one of our creatures, and then like show and tell, all that stuff. Maybe we actually want either balance or toxic deluge here. Yeah, I think we do. I think we want the okay, maybe we want the balance as a wish target and then the deluge in. And let's cut let's cut at a K. I don't like the K that much here. So yeah, they get big real fast with that cranial plating. That is just a beating. The name of my opponent kind of rings a bell. Canali Pierre. Pierre Canali? I'm not sure. So, I don't know, like, this deck feels a lot like show and tell in Legacy, not just because of the show and tell that's actually in this deck, but not like just the Oath of Druids combo feels a lot like Sneak and Show in Legacy, just like a pretty obscenely high level of like power level, but also fairly easy to disrupt. Anyway, so we want to be on the play here, and we nearly get to turn 1 everything, but instead we have to settle for turn 2. So we can turn 2 we can go turn 1 Soul Ring, or we can just go turn 1 land, turn 2 land Soul Ring, show and tell Omniscience, and then have recall and Vampiric Tutor for the win. Or we're gonna keep this. And I think we're just gonna go land, go. And then we can recall in desperation for like a force if we have to. Mortar pod. This works. They can mortar pod. And what did they just pass? They probably lose, because I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna Vampiric Tutor for Force of Will, because they might have something like Mindbreak Trap. So let's say we Vamp Tutor for Force, then we untap, we draw the Force, we play land Soul Ring as the first spell, show and tell us the second, and then we have Force to protect our recall. They might also have something nasty to show and tell in, but I think, I mean, if we don't do that, then if we don't choose to play around Mindbreak Trap, we can just make it deterministic in case, like, assuming they don't have anything to put in, because then we just, after Omniscience is in play, we Vamp Tutor a Burning Wish on top and recall into it. I don't know. It's sort of tight. Play around, Mindbreak Trap. This is not like where you're playing with Cunning Wish, so we can't win with like an Oblivion Ring, Oblivion Ring type trigger on the stack. So if that happens, we're kind of boned. Like if they have what's it called, Ashen Rider or something. I think I like the force play. I think the most likely thing they might be packing would be Mindbreak Trap. Alright, let's see. If they have a force now or something, I guess I pitched the recall. Okay, Revoker. That's not scary. Us not having Emrakul is like a bit of an issue. They named Gristlebrand. Makes sense. Let's hope we hit something. Not really. But we have Grudge, which is nice. And double force. But we need to hit. Yeah, we need to hit Burning Wish or an Oath. I think this is fine. We just grudge it. Oh, yeah, no, we just grudge it and we can flashback the grudge next turn on the Revoker. Four blue mana. Okay, they have another cranial plating. We're gonna force that. Yeah, they can equip. And they play Expedition Map, sure. So let's grudge this cranial plating. And we'll take 3. And hopefully get something off for draw step. We have a lot of duds, and that's a dud. Well, this isn't that great. I think we should have played out the Trop because if they Expedition Map for Wasteland, Waste Trop, then play another cranial plating, that's kind of bad. So I think we just have to take another 3 here, save the grudge in case we actually draw into Gristlebrand. Another Memnite, sure. Come on then. Oh, come on. Well, I think actually I'm just going to play out this Trop. And I guess we'll see what they get here. I hope it's nothing too crazy. Could be wrong. Could be like the land that lets you untap a legendary land, so they can make a lot of mana with Tolarian Academy. I hope they don't have like stage depths. I guess that'd be kind of weird in this kind of deck, but you never know. So this is kind of scary. We really need to start drawing good stuff. Okay, Workshop. Guess that doesn't feel that scary. Depends on what they can cast though. So I think we just grudge, we flashback grudge on this Revoker. Because that's the highest power, and it also, because I think we have to watch our life total here, but it also like it's the most like damaging thing for our game plan if we hit Gristlebrand. So what do you have for us here? Grafdigger's Cage. I guess we don't care about that. Because we have Grudge. It only really matters if we actually need to go off through Oath, which could be a thing. And it is a thing. Alright, well. But it doesn't really even matter because we just get to, like I said, we get to draw the creature we Oath into. Let's see if they can get jiggy with it here. Skull Clamp. So I think this needs to be grudged. And I think what I'm going to do actually is just grudge the Grafdigger's Cage. And then we can flash back. Because we can't flash back with Cage in place, so we have to grudge the Grafdigger's Cage first. And then we grudge this. So we'll take 2 more, drop to 8, and then Oath, and hopefully we don't get decked. So yeah, let's choose our opponent. Use Oath of Druids, yes please. 6 cards left in our library. So that's actually not that great. Oh! Okay, that was insane. So our next card down was Elish Norn. So let's just cast Elish Norn then. I think this just ties it up. I think we were probably winning anyways with the Griselbrand. And we pass. Griselbrand is now on 9/9. Now they get to Oath. Not sure how scary that is. Probably not, because I don't think they have anything that survives Elish Norn. Oh, am I supposed to put this? Oh, yeah. I was just sitting staring. It's my trigger. So they target me. Do they choose to use it? I guess why not? Mere Retriever. When Mere Retriever dies, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hands. Okay, so what do they bring back? I'm not sure. So yeah, sure, Sensei's Top I guess makes sense. They get to bring back Sensei's Top. So yeah, we're never drawing cards with Griselbrand because we only have 5 in our library. So they look, I think I'm just saving the Force here. I'm not using it on the Divining Top. Yeah, they concede. Alright, well, so 1-0 up with the Oath deck. I think this is probably a pretty favorable matchup for us, but was fun nevertheless. So I'll jump into the queue and see if I can find another opponent, and I'll see you for some more games. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.